Welcome to the Finding and Managing Policies series in EZU. In this course, you will learn how to find policies that are already in EZLynx and how to navigate the management system. So, let's get started. First, we'll start with how to find policies using the super search. In our EZLynx Basics, User Settings, Super Search, and Training Materials video, we covered in depth what the super search is capable of. As a refresher, I can search for a policy by typing in the policy number. Keep in mind that the more detailed you are with your search, the better the results. Once the policy you're looking for shows up, you can click on the item and the system will take you to the specific policy. Moving on to the management system, let's take a look at the policy cards on the Overview tab of a customer account. Once on the Overview tab, you'll notice two subheadings titled Policies and Applications. Please see our manual applications video for more details on the Applications tab. We'll be looking at the Policies tab on the left for this tutorial. The first icon on the top right-hand corner is the sort icon, which appears as 3 lines. Clicking on this will bring up the sort drop-down, which allows you to sort by various criteria. The default is set to policy status, meaning it will show all active policies, then inactive and unknown policies. The arrow to the right of the sort dropdown is the sort direction. This can be used to sort from ascending to descending or vice versa, based on the criteria you selected in the dropdown. The icon to the right of the sort icon is for policy and application settings, which looks like a gear. Clicking on this icon will allow you the option to modify shown policy fields, show or hide inactive policies, and resize the policy cards to be smaller or larger. Modifying the shown policy fields allows you to customize what policy data is most important to your agency to see on the fly. Please note that the maximum number of visible fields is 6 and the minimum is 1. If you click on an individual policy card, you'll be redirected to the policy page for that specific policy. Now, we'll go over the icons within an individual policy card. The first one, from left to right, is the Go to Carrier icon, which looks like a building. Clicking on this button will give you the options to go to policy, go to claim, or go to billing on the carrier's site, if applicable. Remember, only certain carriers are compatible with EZLynx, so you may not always see this icon. To the right of Go to Carrier is the Forms icon, which looks like a clipboard. Clicking on this will reveal a drop-down with options for policy service, proof of insurance, applications, and view all forms. This is handy when needing to quickly generate a new form or application directly from the Overview tab of the customer's account. Later, we'll discuss how this is done from the Policies tab as well. The kebab icon looks like 3 vertical dots, which reveals a drop-down with options related to policy servicing. We'll go over these options more in a later video. The last one is an arrow icon, which simply lets you expand or hide additional policy details. Now that we've reviewed the overview section of policies, let's dive into the Policies tab of a customer's account. The first thing we'll go over is the stats bar at the top of the Policies tab. This includes statistics on the running total written premium, total annualized premium, and time with the agency for this customer's account. For more detailed reporting on policies, you can navigate to the Reports section of EZLynx, if your agency has purchased the product. Please see our reporting videos for more details on reporting. In the top right-hand corner is the Add Policy button. Clicking on this will redirect you to the Add Policy page where you can manually add a policy to the customer's account. We'll go over how to add a manual policy in another video. Below the Add Policy button is the Modify Shown Fields button. This is the same process we covered on the Overview tab earlier in the video. To the right of the Modify Shown Fields button is the Table View or Card View button. This allows you to see the policies in a table view, much like an Excel sheet would be. Should you decide you want to go back to the default card view, simply click the button again to return to the previous setting. Below the Table View button is the Sort Dropdown and Sort Direction button. If we look at the icons inside the policy card, you see they are exactly same as the ones we reviewed on the Overview tab as well. The next section we'll discuss is based on individual policies. To navigate there, click on an individual policy card within the Policies tab or the Overview tab. Doing so will redirect you to a new page with additional tabs titled Summary, History, Claims, Documents, and Notes. Above these headings are two drop-downs for actions and forms. The actions drop-down is the same as the kebab icon from before. The forms drop-down allows you to generate new forms and applications for the policy, just like the forms icon from before. The three subsections in the forms drop-down are in order of the typical workflow: policy service, proof of insurance, then applications. You can access these two drop-downs from anywhere inside the policy. Now, let's go over the Summary tab. The first thing you'll see here is the Viewing Summary as of drop-down, which is used to filter policy details by a certain date, if necessary. You can choose today, select a date, or the system will generate a date based on when the policy entered the EZLynx system. If you choose to select a date, you'll use the calendar to the right to find the date you wish to view. The default setting is set to today, so that you stay up to date with the customer's policies. Below the summary date selection is a ribbon stating to click here for additional policy information. If you click on the highlighted words "click here," it will open a new window with all the full details related to the policy. To the right of the Summary tab is the History tab. Here you'll find a table with details about all of the transactions of the policy. There are a few important things to go over in this section, so let's start with the Reorder History button. This is critical for those who receive policy downloads from carriers. When several policy transaction downloads arrive at once, they may be filed in the incorrect order. For instance, a cancellation transaction and reinstatement transaction download on the same day. If placed out of order, the cancellation will make the policy inactive when it should be active. Thus, you'll need to click the Reorder History button and put the transactions in the correct order based on the applied date. To learn more about how to reorder these transactions, see the section on reordering policy transactions within the article titled Policies, Creating and Managing Your Policies. Next, we'll cover the Edit Columns button. The Edit Columns button allows you to do just that: edit, rearrange, or customize the columns. Should you decide to change things up a bit, don't forget to hit the Save button when you're done. To the left of the Edit Columns and Reorder History buttons is a box you can check or uncheck to show or hide deleted transactions. Since this one speaks for itself, we'll move on to the next topic. Each transaction on the History tab has an Actions and Forms drop-down on the far left. The Actions drop-down is used to edit or delete the transaction, while the Forms drop-down is basically the same as every other Forms drop-down within the management system, which allow you to service the policy, generate proof of insurance, and create new forms and applications. The only difference is that the forms will pre-fill the data for the historical transaction, rather than the most recent transaction. The next tab is for Claims, but this is discussed in detail in the Claims videos, so we'll skip over it for now. Moving to the right, we have the Documents tab. Although documents can be uploaded and stored on the main Documents tab, this is another area you can utilize. This can be especially helpful, as the documents uploaded here are tied to the specific policy you're working on. Thus, they can be more easily found when searching for something on the General Documents tab within the customer's account. First things first, you'll notice the search bar and filter icon, which looks like a funnel. Once you build up a lot of documents on a particular policy, this becomes extremely useful. However, for this feature to work its magic, we recommend being detailed in the naming of your documents. Rather than naming it something generic like Document 1, add some specific details about what the document entails. This helps you in the future to find the document you need quickly. Though, the filter icon is always there to help you narrow down your results as well. The reach of the features is the same as the main Documents tab, so please see our Documents video for more details. Lastly, is the Notes tab, another very useful feature using the agency workspace. The only icon here is the Add Note icon on the right, which looks like a pencil with a plus sign. Clicking here will give you the option to add a note or task for this specific policy and customer. For example, if the customer's policy is set to expire next month, it may be useful to add a task here on the policy for remarketing purposes, so you can try to capture the renewal. To learn more about adding notes and tasks, please see our agency workspace video. Well, that about wraps it up for this tutorial. You should now have the knowledge needed to find and navigate through the various policy views within the management system. Thanks for watching.